Social networking giant Facebook's global head of product partnerships, Ime Archibong, spoke to us on the lessons from free basics here in India, Facebook's efforts to connect with developers here, and what Facebook is doing to lessen the impression of being a big brother that is controlling content. Now, Chandra caught up with Archibong in Bengaluru. Listen to this conversation.
Over 9,000 startups and developers that are now in the FB Start program across 137 different countries around the world. And then to your point, APAC and then India are incredibly important to the program, incredibly important to the developer tools that we're building. The APAC region is the second biggest region in the world for us right now for FB Start members, and also for broader Facebook developers that are just building across our different platforms. India, as you can imagine, is the biggest country inside of the APAC region in terms of where we're seeing not only the volume of developers that are already inside of FB Start and on our platform, but also a lot of the growth is happening here too.
And how much of this is really, being driven by the startup boom that we've seen here, so to speak? A lot of mobile-first startups and mobile-only apps, really coming on stream. How much has that really helped?
It definitely is playing a part. Like if you go back to the thesis of FB Start, it was truly to try to find high-potential entrepreneurs and developers and builders that are building mobile experiences, whether they be apps or whether they be web pages. So the fact that you have hundreds of millions of people that are out here already online. You have another 900 to a billion that are offline ready to come into the chamber, and a lot of them, their first experience with the internet is going to be through a mobile device, so that's how people are oriented towards building first and foremost. So you're right, it's not surprising that a lot of the activity is happening out here given the mindset and what people are accustomed to.
Right. How successful have you been in really pushing this through local languages? How has the response really been there, and what other initiatives will you be taking? Because local languages is something that pretty much everybody has been talking about for the last decade, but we haven't really seen it take off in a big way. But do you see that changing now, because more and more smartphones are getting sold in pretty much every corner of the country?
Yeah, we're trying to do a lot here. I think Facebook broadly, as we commit to making sure that we're building a global product with a local lens, over 7,000 languages spoken around the world. Only 55 of them are kind of robustly supported across the internet ecosystem. 90 languages are available on Facebook already. We know we have a ton more work to do. We're trying to make sure that we're doing that not only for our products first and foremost, but the products that we're building for developers and for our platforms. So you've seen us, I would say, over the course of the last year, localize a lot of our developer documents and technical specifications, so that people that are in India and maybe English is not their primary or their secondary language can continue to jump into the developer ecosystem that we're building here. The FB Start program, we heard this time and time again too, people wanted more help with the language localization, so we've partnered with companies like Verbalize It, who help people with their translation services and making sure that they can provide some of the package and tools and benefits to kind of developer ecosystem. So it's critical, it's key. When we look at some of the major kind of macro themes that are keeping people offline and keeping more people from connecting to the internet, kind of custom relevant content is a key, one of the top 3 things that I always highlight, and language localization is a major pillar in that piece.
And I've listened to some of your recent fireside chats, and I think one major push for you is to really tell developers and technology innovators on how they can leverage free basics to engage with wider audiences and really build their products. Does it become difficult for you to do that in India? How's your pitch really different here, considering free basics is no longer in the picture?
Not necessarily. I mean, ultimately, free basics is just a part of the broader Internet.org initiative, right? Which is all about getting that next 4.1 billion people across the world connected, and we're steady committed to that, right? That's unwavering kind of commitment from the company's perspective. Free basics was one pillar there. We have things like Express Wi-Fi. We're looking at leveraging satellites. We're putting solar-powered planes in the air. So there's all these different programs and initiatives that we're really excited about that are hopefully going to help more and more people get online. It'll happen naturally, but we're just trying to focus to see if we can help accelerate that. The funny thing is about the Free Basics platform, it's live in now 41 different countries around the world. We have over 600 different developers and services available on the service. It continues to grow, continues to do well. I think the folks in India that are still excited about building for their Free Basics platform can continue to do so, especially as they're looking to try to reach other markets outside of India where it is live right now.
When I talk to startups here, entrepreneurs here, I mean, a lot of them tell me that, irrespective of whether they have a website or not, the first thing that they create is a Facebook page. That's an upside. The downside is some people also see you as this big brother who's sort of controlling, who can like what and who can see what. So, as you become bigger and a big source for a lot of startups to transact business, how are you really going to ensure that, it becomes a more level playing field, that this perception of big brother sort of goes away?
I mean, the one thing that we stay committed to is the fact that as a technology company, we always want to be in the world of creating opportunities. That's the way I define it, and I think that's the way that Mark would talk about it too, which is just like, how can we build the opportunity for a startup, a business, an individual voice, you name it, right? It has the opportunity to share their creativity, their voice, their innovation with the rest of the world. And I think so long as we stay committed to that, which, I've been at the company now almost going on 6 years, and we've been around for a while, and, I've talked to everyone and understood kind of the value alignment of kind of the senior folks and also folks that are coming onto the kind of the team right now, is that we stay committed to that opportunity creation. And so long as we're building tools and opportunity creation for people, I think that we're going to be fine. You're going to see startups, you're going to see businesses and entrepreneurs continue to lean into our platform because they realize that it gives them the channel to reach more people.
Right. Last couple of questions, really. Will you also be bringing, a lot of people from Silicon Valley to interact with developers here, from the Facebook global community to really help them with, new tools that you have? Is that going to be a key component of it?
Yeah, I think it's critical. I think it's really, really important. If you were to kind of go to the developer event, the FB Start event that we have right now, you would see from the Facebook team, you have everyone from the partnerships organization, you have engineers, you have PMs, you have kind of the open source team, and kind of can go on down the line of how many people are coming here to try to make sure that we are learning from the ecosystem, and then understanding how we can add value to the ecosystem. So yes, it's a critical piece. We are a company now of 1.65 billion people across the core Facebook app, 900 million across Messenger, 400 million across Instagram, 1 billion across WhatsApp. So we've been this global company and this global reach company, but we need to do an increasingly good job of making sure that as we continue to scale, we also are thinking hyper-local too. An important part of that is making sure that we can meet people where they are at geographically, because once you're here geographically, you get a better understanding of where people are, I think both technically and from a product perspective, and we can figure out how to better serve them. So it's an important piece. We'll continue to have people coming and spending more and more time here, learning from here, and taking that back to headquarters, influencing roadmaps.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.